Hello and welcome to Live from the Allotment. This is a video that I wanted to do for a little while just to give an overview of what it is I'm actually growing so far, because as you can see, this is definitely a work in progress, and if I'm going to do what I intend to do and get musicians up here as well, it needs a little bit of work, so please don't judge me on how it is so far. But yeah, I thought it would be a good idea just to, as a timestamp as well for myself, just to see what I have, and I can look back over the years and hopefully I can get some advice from you guys, what I should be planting or if I'm doing anything wrong. But yeah, so to start it off, I've got a gooseberry plant here, and then here I've got some rhubarb. I took this rhubarb from an old allotment I used to have, and it seems to have established really well. I sort of got a shovel and broke the crown in half, and just stuck them in these planters, and yeah, they seem to be really happy. And then over here I've got some irises. Again, I took these from an old allotment I had, put them in pots. This one is a pear tree. I've got a pear tree here. He was over there, sort of in the shade. You can see it, but I had to move him because he looked like he was dying back. But as you can see, I've moved him into the sun a bit more, and he's really happy. I've got him in a big pot as well, because I kind of thought I might want to move these trees about as I sort of expand and develop this space. One thing that was really handy actually was these pots. There's a building site across the road, and I went over and asked one of the builders over there if I could take some of the spoil that they had dug up, so I didn't have to really pay for anything. And then I sort of filled it all with some feed, some slow feed, and yeah. But apart from this one, who struggled a little bit in the shade, that all of the trees that I've got seem quite happy. In here I put some parsnips in. Weirdly only one took, but well. And then over here I've got some carrots, and then I've got another gooseberry bush, and then here I've got a blackcurrant bush. And then in the sacks is where I put potatoes, and then here I've got some blueberries, and then I've got some carrots and onions next to each other. I thought I'd see how that goes. And then I've got some raspberries here, and here I've got a burner. And then going into, that's my dog, Izzy. Going into the allotment, I have got 3 beds. I haven't really thought about what I'm going to put in them yet. The only things I did set up, I can easily move these, is some sort of hanging system for sort of training the tomato plants, because they can go a bit wild, and yeah, that worked quite well last year. Over here I've got a cherry tree. Haven't had any fruit off this guy yet, but looks like he's got a lot of growth, and he's doing quite well. This big old stem come off the side. I might actually have to move them, because it does seem to be coming this way, and obviously the sun's up there. I was hoping they'd sort of just grow high, and then sort of shade the greenhouse a little bit, because that's turned into really more of a storage space than anything. Then here I have got a plum tree, but he's doing really well. I don't know if I'm meant to space these out. I'm sure I read that they need to be like 5 meters apart, but I'm not sure if that was to do with it being the same breed of tree or not. Maybe someone knows that. Now I've got some irises again, and then here I've got 2 apple trees. I've got a Braeburn and a Golden Delicious, and then inside and around it I've got some mint and some lemon. lemon balm, I think it is. But yeah, I usually take that and put it in some hot water for a tea, which is really nice. And I use the mint for all different things. Over here is a walnut tree, which I put in. He's been there about 1.5 years now, and he looks quite happy. I've got in the corner here is where I'm putting all of the old soil from the potatoes, and then just turning it. So in the future I can use that again. I've got another blueberry bush, and then some more tubs for some potatoes when I go and get the potato seeds. And then in here I've got a plant that I don't really know what he is. He sort of flowers purple, and he gets a bit angry if he's not watered enough. But he's really pretty, and he's come back every year. I've had him for about 5 years. So that's, yeah, that is. I've also got some logs there for the log burner. I've got a ton of sticks, because you'll find that you need them as the summer comes on. And then in here, I'll do a video on it, but that's where I create feed for the plants. In here, this is my greenhouse. It's not, it's not. I don't really use it probably as well as I should. I tried to put bubble wrap in it to sort of keep the heat in a bit more, and that was a complete failure, because it just become like a water swamp, and there were snails everywhere and slugs. So really it's just become more of a storage space for anything and everything. I've got some bone meal in here, which is quite handy. Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend one of these, because maybe I'm just not using it right, but it gets too hot or too cold, and then everything just kind of dies. So I'll sort of prepare everything indoors where I can regulate the temperature a bit more, and just use this as a movable storage space. But it's definitely handy to have either way. Yeah, but this is Izzy, the little helper. So yeah, that's the space. So the idea is to grow up here for the family, vegetables and anything that I can really. And then on the other side of it, I just wanted to make a really cool space that I could film some live music in, because it's a hobby of mine. Yeah, I think it'd just be a bit different, and just it'll look cool as well, especially when all the plants start to come out and start to get really growing. So I don't know if there's any plants that anyone would recommend that I should sort of put in up here, or any ways I can do it differently really. But I'll do more videos on where I'm going to film and how I'm going to film it and who I'm going to use. But on the growing side, I just thought this might be a good little video to make, just to time stamp what I've got. Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing your comments, and like and subscribe please. Thank you.